Would you look at that? The theme music playing without a problem
works.
this morning.
There it is.
Actually, if anyone didn't watch it live yesterday, they wouldn't know. I clipped that off at the beginning, that mess of just me trying to figure out what's wrong with my boards. Good morning, everybody. It's The Rob from 106.1 KISS FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting from 99.5 WKDQ. This is Travis Sams. Good morning, Travis.
What's up, Rob? Nice shirt today.
Oh, yes. Today's wrestling shirt is Mankind, complete with...
Does it say have a nice day on the back? Great. You know, I actually, after you mentioned that you got on the clearance aisle, I actually got on the clearance aisle and I found about 3-4 shirts that I was going to get.
Did you get some?
I didn't finish ordering them, but I'm going to order them today.
Yeah. So the thing was, there's like so many like shirts that are there, but not everything's in my size.
That's the problem that I found. Yeah.
So that's why when I saw some that I just started splurging.
Yeah.
I got Brittany 4 different, it's 3 different Kevin Owens shirts and 1 Enzo and Cass shirt. They were all $2.49.
What Kevin Owens shirts? Were they women's shirts?
They're women's shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I found a Enzo and Cass shirt that it was just a tank top. It says "Bada boom, realest guys in the room." I'm like, I'll do that.
Yeah. Some of them are super duper cheap. So that's why I got, in total, including Brittany's shirts, and I got the Enzo wig with the hair. We're talking all under $150.
Are you gonna wear that at the wedding?
There will be, I believe, some wrestling infused moments.
There we go.
Hopefully, you'll be there to appreciate.
Yes,
it.
of course. If there's wrestling infused moments, of course.
So, I mean, because literally, I've got 4 groomsmen, and 3 of them are just like humongous wrestling fans,
Right.
And the best man, it doesn't care about wrestling, but he'll do what I tell him to.
Good. Well, yeah, that's his job, right?
Right, exactly. So for anyone who will be at the wedding, it's going to be, yes, there'll be wrestling references all over it. So,
I cannot wait.
How are you today?
Good, man. Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you for pointing out the Mankind shirt. I was, and by the way, since you see me pretty much every work day, you'll be seeing a whole bunch. Like I said, I've got a whole bunch to debut.
I can't wait. I'm gonna be looking forward to the mystery shirt of the day.
Well, I don't mind getting things started by saying I didn't think SmackDown was awesome. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't awesome. But I give a big win this week to Raw, personally.
Raw was better. See, I missed a lot of SmackDown last night. I didn't get to see it all, but I did read up on it. And
oh yeah, didn't you have an important chest waxing to go to?
Yes, my friend lost a bet, so I made sure he cashed in on said bet, and he got his chest waxed.
Let's talk about this real quick because I just found out the details of this bet. Your friend is an idiot.
He's a stupid idiot, in the words of Chris Jericho.
He just made the list.
Yeah.
So I saw anyone who's Facebook friends with Travis probably saw that he was part of a chest waxing. There was a big heavy guy who got his chest waxed yesterday because he lost a bet.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the bet was. And you told me, tell me what the bet was.
So we were just talking about how good of a friend I am and how bad of a friend he is. Like at one point in time, he actually almost set my foot on fire. So I'm like, I just need to find a way to get payback on you. And one of our friends actually owns a salon in Boonville. And she was like, why don't he just get his chest waxed? And I was like, that's a good idea.
Sure.
He wasn't all about that, but he finally said, you know what? If I get 100 likes on this status, I'll do it.
100? 100? Like 100?
He's got at least 300 people that don't like him. So I didn't argue with him. I just said, okay, buddy, we'll do that.
So did he just put it on his Facebook or were you allowed to share it?
Well, he tagged me in it. So it was on my Facebook page as well. But most of them were his coworkers who probably just want to see him in pain.
I mean, you're on the radio. If you just ask people, if you just type the word fart as a status, you'll get 100 likes on that.
I would like to think so. Yeah.
So
he made good on that bet last night. He lost fair and square.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your shirt. I'm trying to figure out, is that a wrestling shirt?
No, this is actually an Oak Ridge Boys shirt.
I don't know what that is.
You ever heard the song Elvira or the Giddy Up, Pop,
I don't know that one.
Okay, well, it says Giddy Up and Pop Mow on the back.
If you would have kept going, we would have had to pull this video down.
I know.
Jerry always gets frustrated because every time he starts like singing something, like you got to stop.
I'm only good for about like 5 seconds, and then we're good.
Any more than 4, and I start sweating. So it's a country music T-shirt.
It is.
Okay, now I know. So SmackDown. Let's see. There were some highlights and lowlights. So I know you saw the tail end.
I saw a little bit of the beginning and the tail end is what I saw, but I did see I missed the promo with Miz and Bludgeon Brothers.
I have to be honest with you. If you're going to miss any Miz promo this year, you missed the right one.
Yeah.
It was really, I didn't feel like Miz needed to really be there. I guess Bludgeon Brothers can't do the talking for themselves, really, but it didn't feel like a Miz promo.
I mean, I could see why he was there because, I mean, he did beat Daniel Bryan last week thanks to the Bludgeon Brothers, and they're trying to get that feud kickstarted a little bit, but...
No, see, which feud are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Miz-Bryan feud.
See, that, okay.
So he's just antagonizing right now.
Last week, Jerry said that his take on what happened the prior week was they're going to be moving Daniel into a program with the Bludgeon Brothers.
I think they are, just as a transitional, because they're not going to waste the Daniel Bryan-Miz feud on like Extreme Rules. They might do it at SummerSlam, but chances are it's probably going to be at WrestleMania.
See, I can get with that, but I really thought that this Bludgeon Brothers thing was kind of going to get swept under the rug with Bryan. It's just the fact that they fought in a high-profile match last night already went further than I thought it would.
Yeah.
I thought the Bludgeon Brothers would kind of be an afterthought in this whole thing. It was all to get Bryan to Miz. But that was obviously not the case.
Yeah, well, I think in a way it is, but ultimately what they do, I think they're going to try to give KANE one last good run.
I really hope the operative word is last, because I know a lot of people like KANE. I am definitely beyond the point that I get excited to see KANE wrestle.
I am too, but also with him running for mayor of Knox County, he's already said if he is to win, which chances are he probably does win, that's going to be his full-time job. He's not going to have time for wrestling. So
being a mayor is a full-time job. Like, it's like that. There shouldn't be any, I mean, I guess now you could just fly him into shots if you need to, but yeah, I don't expect this to last very long. It does look like for at least the short term, Team Hell No is back together.
Yes, which I'm more than happy about.
Are you? Because I feel like this is a step backwards for Daniel.
Well, Daniel and KANE both have said that being a part of Team Hell No was probably one of their most fun moments of their career. And I enjoyed what they did together. I don't think the dynamic's going to be the same now because they're on the same page. The beauty part of what Team Hell No was I'm the tag team champions.
Correct.
So you don't have that. So I think it's just honestly just one last run to have some fun with KANE before he goes.
I mean, so let me pose it to you this way. For the next, let's just use an arbitrary number. For the next 2 months, you're going to see Daniel Bryan wrestle, we'll just use an arbitrary number, 8 times. Would you rather see 8 singles matches or 8 matches where he's tagging with KANE?
Well, the thing is, I'm not mad about him tagging with KANE because if I'm looking at it, I think they're going to probably win the tag team titles. It probably won't be a long stint, but I think they'll probably win the tag team titles.
Fair.
So that'll keep Daniel Bryan relevant and a title contender. And as far as him doing all these singles matches, he's got plenty of time. Hopefully, he's got plenty of time to get those high-profile matches with people like Nakamura or Jeff Hardy or folks like that, where you don't really want to waste those for like the first time on a SmackDown or something like that.
Do you know, is KANE's election, is it this November?
I think it is.
Interesting. I feel like, I'm not going to say he's going to lose, but I feel like him winning is not just like a layup, a slam dunk. I think he's going to have to really work for this.
And he has been, from what I gathered, but it'll be interesting to see how it works. Because KANE, well, a lot of people don't realize this dude is actually a genius.
Okay. What makes you say that, though?
I've listened to a few podcasts that he's been on, just the way he talks, the things that he talks about completely over a lot of people's heads.
I mean, people don't realize this. He graduated from dentist school. He's DS.
Yeah.
A certified dentist.
And that's crazy to think that he's just a jack of all trades like that.
Yeah, I know. The way he applies his trade is just.
He also spent a little time, just a little stint as a Diesel impersonator.
That's right. He sure did. Isn't wrestling just the best?
It's great.
I mean, like, just because Kevin Nash is gone, Scott Hall is gone, Jeff Jarrett is gone, we own all those characters. No one will ever know.
We're just gonna get them.
And they legit thought it was gonna be okay. God bless WWF. So what the things happen though? Oh, one thing I did think was funny. I made a note of this. The timing for Team Hell No's reunion is interesting to me. Literally the same week they're sending Bailey and Sasha to therapy is the same week that Hell No reunites.
Do you think, what was the doctor's name?
Oh, I don't know. But can they bring him back?
Yeah. I think that'd be hilarious.
That'd be great. And I did get confirmation that, yes, Sasha will be going to therapy.
Good. She needs it. I mean, not that she's crazy, but I think they both need, just to hug it out.
The bloom has come off the rose for Sasha with me. When she came on and everything was so fresh and new and the divas were revolutionizing everything, and I was really into Sasha, and now I just don't care about her anymore.
I think that heel turn will help if she is the one going.
I don't think she is.
Ed, we'll find out. I don't mind either one of them turning heel.
Ellsworth is certainly a heel.
I'm so happy that he's back.
I am so with you on this. There's one, like, Steve is a big wrestling fan, and he is the most vocal Ellsworth hater, and I don't understand it.
Well, I think that should tell you that Ellsworth's doing his job then.
Because he's pissing people off.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like anyone who's clumping him in with wrestlers is missing it. You have to clump him in with the other props.
Yeah. I mean, I look at him as like a brother love or something like that. Kind of like a manager.
Yeah.
A bumping manager.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that's what he's there for.
And he genuinely makes me laugh. Just like, and now he's going to be, didn't Paige book a match with him and Asuka next week?
Yes. So now he's going to be he already is intergender champion in the indies.
On the indie circuit, yeah. So I don't know how it's going to work I don't believe this is for any sort of title.
I mean, look, it worked with Andy Kaufman back in the day. It's going to work with James Ellsworth.
I know, and WWE has really never done like an intergender thing like this. I mean, I know that.
Well, back in the day, maybe with China.
I know
Jericho.
China has wrestled guys before, but this being just like, going all out Kaufman. I feel like
full on
could be a good move for Ellsworth. And by the way, Asuka has just tumbled.
She has.
Asuka used to be like the one when it came to women wrestlers. They had something really special on their hands.
They ruined it.
I mean, it was. I don't even want to say it's because she lost, because you could have still kept her very special.
I agree,
but she has just been terribly handled since WrestleMania.
Since moving to SmackDown in general.
Yeah, which I think was just 1 week after the WrestleMania loss, which, by the way, I think one of the huge problems with that loss was the aftermath. I don't know why Asuka seemed to just be through the moon that she got beat by Charlotte. Like, if you remember, she was just like,
congratulations.
Thank you so much for beating me. It's about time someone beat me.
Yeah.
Like, God, that was the wrong way to do that.
Yeah.
I thought.
Honestly, what they could have easily done there, instead of having Nakamura turn heel that night, he would have had Asuka just attack her.
That could have been cool too.
Yeah.
Although the Nakamura one has certainly panned out. Tell me about Sanity last night. Eric Young answered the open. Oh, you probably didn't see it.
Well, no, I did hear about it because Nakamura's injured. Do we know why he's injured?
Yeah, we do. It's the weirdest story. So there were like police officers doing what my understanding was like some sort of routine pre-arena sweep of the venue.
Yeah.
Something happened. It wasn't like, my understanding is like Shinsuke didn't do anything wrong, but a police dog started reacting to Shinsuke and bit him on the leg. And he got injured by a police dog.
Really?
Yesterday at the arena. Yeah, that's my understanding. Mike put that on the Post to Post Facebook page. And then I went and also dug up some stuff, and that's what it looked like happened. All I knew was that he got bit by a police dog, and I thought maybe he couldn't have been running, could he? But yeah, there was just police dogs at the arena for reasons unrelated to anything.
Police dog must be racist.
You think that's what it was?
It's got to be it.
So yeah, I don't know how long he's going to be out. I mean, like, it's a dog bite, but
I mean, maybe it required stitches or anything like that. I don't know how deep the dog bite was.
I don't know either. I don't know anything more about it than he got bit by a police dog.
Well, I'm glad to know exactly what happened there, because I was kind of curious on that, because it was just random, because they've been building it up even last night.
But you know what? To me, like, I feel like that's a match I could see on Extreme Rules.
I agree. And that's one of the things I talked about yesterday. Like, why are they throwing this match away on SmackDown? Make people pay for it.
So it wound up being an opportunity for both Sanity and Eric Young.
And I'm glad they're finally on the roster now.
I'm really worried they're going to get wasted.
Like, yeah.
My understanding is Vince is not a fan and just never got it and doesn't get EY, doesn't get anybody in there.
He doesn't even get someone like Bobby Roode.
Yeah. You know, that's my understanding as well. I mean, who knows how legit it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Eric Young answered the call. It wound up turning into a 3-on-3, or as they call it on Raw, a multi-person match. And so yeah, 3-on-3 between Sanity and the Usos joined Jeff Hardy. And the Usos and Jeff Hardy got the win last night over Sanity.
I think that's the wrong move. You bring them in just to have them lose?
Especially once it became the 3-man. By the way, Sanity debuted strong the week before.
Yeah.
And then you bring them in just to, I feel like this was a great opportunity for them to go over and keep Jeff looking strong.
Yeah.
Too. And they didn't.
Yeah, because Jeff didn't have to take the pinfall.
Exactly. Once it turned into a multi-person match.
So, yeah, wrong move. Wrong move altogether.
And then, oh boy, there was a subtle thing I really wanted to point out too. Well, I mean, you might have missed it.
I heard about something. I want to try to guess if this is the botched Twist of Fate.
Oh no, I did notice that though.
Yeah.
Was that in a report that you read?
Yes.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it didn't look awful, but it was not what they were trying to do. That's for sure. That's not going to gain him any favors with Vince too.
No.
It looked like Eric might have screwed that one up. There was a New Day. It was Xavier versus Rusev.
I did see that match.
Okay, so you saw that. So then did you see the ouch sign?
Yes, that was hilarious.
That's what I love about New Day. That's why I love them.
I don't know how you break them up. Like, you're losing a lot of money if you break them up.
I feel like there's potential for Big E to be a star, but let's be real. I think he'll get lost in the shuffle.
I agree.
And I think that the New Day is still probably the way to go. But I like when that's just straight up funny.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where it's like they're weird funny, and I don't always like it. But there's sometimes like they got Rusev draped over the ropes and they hold like a cartoon word bubble that says ouch, pointing to Rusev. And I just lost it. I thought it was so funny. I was so proud of them.
I like it when they do stuff like that. Now, there are some things that they do, like you said, it's a little like, come on now.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, I'm a big video game fan. There's sometimes they make these deep video game references.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't follow what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Or like, even if I am, or like most of the people in this arena following you, probably not.
Right.
You know, the pancake stuff is working. I think everyone's probably digging that stuff. I liked how how Aiden English rhymed awful with waffle.
That was pretty good.
So that's what happened too. And then I also want to talk about, because I feel like that's pretty much the bulk of what happened on SmackDown.
Now, was Styles thrown in the mix anywhere?
Styles was not on the show. Styles is doing something with, I think, the video overseas.
Okay.
So he
Doing
was
some promoting.
Promoting, yeah. So that he was not on the show last night. Also not on the show last night, obviously, Big Cass, who has been terminated from WWE.
You don't say.
Well, I'm sure you heard about this.
I did.
So, but the rumors are really starting to come flying out of this story. Have you heard things?
I've heard some things. I even heard that he had an altercation with one of the commentators for, I think, 205 Live, because he's hanging out with Carmella a lot, and he had an altercation with that guy saying,
please,
hey.
that one I don't know. Please fill me in.
Yeah, so I cannot think of his name.
I know the one you're talking about.
But I guess they hang out a lot, he and Carmella and their friends.
Is he the one who filled in for Morrow at NXT?
Yes.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes. And I guess they saw each other backstage. I guess he looked at Cass wrong, and Cass called him out on it and said, basically there was just a verbal altercation that went on there, and it was apparently very unprofessional.
Dude, these stories are nuts.
What all have you heard so far?
So, I mean, first of all, have you heard about the drinking in Europe? Or the drinking in general?
The drinking in general, I have, yeah.
Apparently, he's not doing well with that. There was also what I read had nothing to do with any announcers or anything. I had no knowledge of what you just told me, but there was an altercation with Carmella, where apparently he confronted her in the back. This was actually, I believe, the night he got fired. Last Tuesday. It happened actually during the SmackDown taping, from what I understand, like towards the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And kind of just, I believe his intentions were to be nice and apologetic, and he wanted to get Carmella back. Carmella made it very clear that's not what her interest is. She doesn't want to be back with Big Cass. Cass did not take it well and needed to be restrained by, I don't want to forget the names. Why can't I think of the names? But two or three people had to restrain Cass.
Really?
From, I don't know if it was I don't think it was violence toward Carmelo, but just getting out of line and just behaving himself. And when that happened, that's when they made the call to Cass and called him into Vince's office and let him go. This is so weird because, like, okay, so he seems like a real locker room heel.
Yeah.
And Enzo was the one who was regarded as being like the king of hated in the locker room.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me that his tag team partner wouldn't have learned from that. Because my understanding was people always liked Cass of the two.
And I always thought Vince was pretty high on him.
Here lately, they gave him a real chance.
Yeah.
He loves big guys. We know that, but he wasn't delivering the work rate of someone who can get away with stuff like this.
Right. And that's sad. I mean, he could have done something in WWE. But then again, so could have Enzo. And speaking of Enzo, I did finish that podcast with Austin.
How is that?
It was good. Enzo, he can talk a lot. Austin barely got a word in edgewise, but Enzo mentioned something about how the future plans to get him over more as a heel that only Vince and he knew about.
Did that include Sasha? I'm sorry, did that include Alexa?
It did.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He basically was, because he and Nia were like an item on TV, and basically Nia was going to find out that Enzo had been messing around with Alexa, which is going to help lead to their WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
And it was going to make Enzo an even bigger heel. And Enzo was like, yeah, but only Vince and I knew about that. That was Vince's plan. He believed in me enough to do it. Apparently, he had some altercations with Triple H, some verbal spats. Basically, Triple H was just saying stuff to him like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And Enzo's like, that's not going to happen. And Triple H at one point in time said, Enzo, you're not going to change the world. And Enzo stood up, moved his chair back like he was about to do something. He goes, I am changing the world. And so they just didn't see eye to eye. And Triple H finally agreed that he's like, look, you're a lost cause. I'm never going to get through to you. These are all things coming from Enzo's mouth. So Enzo's very outspoken about everything. And if you kind of want to get a little insight on what all happened, it's a good podcast.
When you say what all happened, do you mean in that hotel room in Phoenix?
He doesn't really go in detail on that. I mean, all he basically says is, he didn't do it. This girl had some issues before.
Yeah.
And he also talks about how he found out. He found out over social media that this was going on. So
I'm not surprised to hear that.
Yeah. He immediately called his lawyer and then went in to go talk to Vince. He's like, hey man, we got to talk. And Vince is like, or maybe it was Carano. He's like, yeah, no, we do have to talk. He's like, why didn't you tell us? He's like, bro, I'm just finding out now too.
Interesting, because that's something that a lot of people were leaning on as far as to validate his firing, was that he didn't give them the heads up on this.
Well, he had mentioned that there was apparently some investigator was trying to find out about it in, I think, October or December. And he's like, well, it's not a cop. Like, cops won't just call you like that. They'll come find you and talk to you and bring you in for questioning.
Yeah.
So he didn't think anything of it. He just thought someone was messing with him.
Yeah, I thought he was kind of a victim in the whole thing. That's, again, assuming that he didn't do it. And I'm assuming that because the charges got dropped and because just, I mean, the
things you heard about her.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I'm not saying he's impossible of it, but it's just like, man, you got a whole bunch of crazy at play from all angles here.
Yeah. He even said that he felt like WWE turned his back on him.
And I think that he's kind of valid in feeling that way.
I agree.
Do you think we'll see him in WWE ever again?
He had said not anytime soon. He wants to pursue things like his music and acting and things like that. And he says he's still pretty beat up. But
I can imagine that.
He wants to, he said, maybe at some point. He said that if this wouldn't have happened, he said, I would have been a lifer. He said they would have had to make me leave.
Yeah, I believe that totally. And he was a guy that just really, I always thought his spot on the car was kind of that of Road Dogg, but he was much better than Road Dogg to me in that. Road Dogg wasn't known for being the best in-ring performer, but for whatever reason, people just gravitated to him on the microphone.
He had that gift of gab.
And that's the thing. And that's a big element of what makes wrestlers charismatic.
Yeah. Well, Enzo even mentioned that he was actually going to do a rap album like Cena did through WWE.
Oh, through WWE?
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thought. Okay, maybe. I actually have the Cena album.
Do you? Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I have one signed by John Cena.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did you see him sign it?
No, but it was signed by him.
Wow. I mean, it's kind of hard to see him sign it, right?
The first 1,000 got signed. It was
That's
cool. Through WWE.
Oh, was it?
And you can tell it's not a stamp.
Right.
So, yeah. So there you go. That's let's see. That's Travis's recap of Enzo on Austin's podcast on our podcast. Is there anything else we need to mention today?
It's a circle.
It's a whole thing.
Did anything else happen on SmackDown that I missed?
No, I feel like we covered the big things.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest with you. So, I didn't think it was a great episode, especially when you factor in the fact that I'm not a KANE fan. So having him return at the end was not like a cherry on top.
Maybe he can make you a fan with this tag team revival.
I want to be a fan of him as a politician. That's what I'm ready
that's
for.
acceptable too.
For myself, the Rob, my tag team partner, Travis. Thanks for filling in this week, man.
No problem.
Really
Anytime.
appreciate it. Always, of course, when you see Travis on Facebook, like his statuses because some of his friends may wax their pubes next. We never know what's going to happen here with post.
I don't want to watch that though.
Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.